I'll call the meeting to order. And we'll have reading and the approval of the minutes of the previous meeting.
This is Herb Marshall. I move to approve the minutes.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Seconded by Gina. Any additions, corrections, comments on the minutes of December 8th special meeting and December 14th regular meeting? Lacking any, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Is there any opposed? Hearing none, carried. Bills, communications,
For this month, we have the NICEAG payment of $203.62. I paid that online on January 3rd. We have the Q4 payment, which includes the fee share, and that came to $16,662.13.
What was that? What was that bill, please?
That's your Q4 admin services, which includes the fee share, and I'm gonna give a breakdown of the fee share for everyone. So through January through December, your project fee total came to $94,506.05. The expenses for the year were $36,324.07. So the income subject to a fee share is $58,181.98. 20% of that goes to CCIDA, which in the amount of $11,636.40. We also have, let's see. We have the Aurelius tax bill for 2022 in the amount of $2,742.98. And then also we have CNS companies. And let's see what their total. They sent us two bills. One you got afterwards. So one is in the amount of, $1,803. And then the other one and the amount of $780.30. And those are all the bills.
a motion to pay our bills.
This is John. I'll move.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Andy?
Yeah.
Motion been made to pay the bills. Questions, discussion on bills.
The last two bills, are they pertaining to the sewer line?
Yes.
Will they be added to the cost of the sewer line, or do they come directly out of us?
Well, this the engineering company, Mark Chambers, so that's coming from us.
Yeah, it's coming in.
Yeah, and that's already part of the overall fee
four.
that we submitted.
So it's just, they're gonna write a check or not.
Okay, thank you.
Is there any further discussion on the bills? Lacking any, all in favor of paying the bills?
Aye.
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 Is there any opposed? Lacking any? Bills are paid. Report of treasurer.
For the month of December, you'll notice we had gas and revenue income for $32.93. Interest for the savings in the CD came to $177.68. Your total income for the month was $210.61. Expenses for the month. We had a membership dues to the King County Chamber for $275. Galvado Law Firm in the amount of $1,898. Harris Beach for the amount of $2,259.88. We also had the Springside Luncheon for $427.70. So the total expense was $4,860.58. Our income was negative $4,649.97. And then at the bottom, there's just a breakdown of all the account balances for the month.
That it?
That is all.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Motion to approve the treasurer's report.
I'll move.
Second, Andy.
Thank you. Discussion to the treasurer or treasurer's report.
Because I'm slow, how did we have a negative income?
We spent more than what we made for the month.
Oh, okay, I didn't realize you was subtracting the expenses from the income. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Further discussions? All in favor?
I
Aye.
Any opposed? Lacking any? Motion carried. Kevin, I see your name come up. Danny, is Kevin on the line?
Kevin Ellis and Kevin Buckland from CMI are on the line.
Okay, why don't we have them so we can, we won't hold them up while we do the rest of the meeting. Kevin, are you there?
Hey, Ray. Yeah, I'm here. I'm on video
Hey.
now, so you can see
There
me.
you are.
I
You're
think
as good looking-
Kevin.
You're as good looking as you are in person.
Yeah, okay. It's like the CBS reporter said I look like Hugh Jackman. I go, come on, right? Yes. So yeah, Kevin Buckland. I think
Yep,
he's on his.
I'm here, Kevin. Yep.
Okay, so KB, can you screen share the master plan for everybody? And then I can talk for a little bit here.
Sure can. Give me 1 second.
So I just felt the CCIDA board members, I felt it was time that we got back together to give you an update, because the last time we had gotten together, we had a JV partner. It was in the mix that was pushing, pretty hard to move forward. Long story short, they have exited. They don't want to be in the state of New York. So we are still at it, and we've invested, well north of $100,000 in engineering designs at the moment. And the more that we got into this aseptic project that we've been conceiving and talking with you about, the more it just made sense. There's definitely in our sector that we serve in the dairy industry, there's definitely a shift from fluid fresh milk into longer shelf life milks, such as ESL. ESL stands for extended shelf life. ESL milk is right around 60 days of shelf life. And then aseptic milk can be anywhere from 8 to 12 months, depending on the product at ambient temperatures. So it doesn't require refrigeration. The market is shifting rapidly. You're seeing more of these fresh milk plants that have shelf lives of 18 to 21 days disappearing and being replaced by ESL and aseptic. So the more we looked at it, the more it just kind of made sense to continue trying to see if we can do this project alone. Now, it's a scary project for us. We represent 30 dairy farmers in this region. And this project is bigger than the original one. So we are now, with all the inflationary pressures that we are seeing, staring at a $146 million budget. And that would be about 125,000 square feet. Talk about job count a little bit. We now have grown our labor force to 94 people at CMI. When I had been working with Tracy and we were doing the second evaporator project that we just completed last year in June, we didn't think we were going to add any staff. I don't know how it happened, but we started an R&D center. We doing a few other things. We had found out that we needed actually more staff to get more milk trucks through. We're receiving close to 3 million pounds of milk every day at CMI. So we've added 20 hen count just through evaporator 2. So we're up to 94. This aseptic plant would add another 64 to 70 people initially. So we're really looking at about 158 minimum headcount needed just for phase 1 of the expansion. So if you look at the screen right now at what KB is sharing, the orange box is the expansion we envision. So the yellow box that is to the north is CMI that exists today. And then the orange box is the envisioned bottling line expansion. So as you can see, we have grand plans. All things going well, we would see multiple line extensions on bottling. And that's on the left of your screen, and green and purple and light blue and I don't know, purple again. So on the right, we also envision adding more capacity to our drying needs in the future. So I keep telling KB, Kevin Buckland, that we're going to run out of cows in Cuyahoga County at some point. So this may not quite be this size, but we are growth oriented. You know, the last 2 years, I think we've really turned a corner with the business. We've moved into much better, more secure customers. That has really helped our financial performance. So I see growth continuing into the long term. But as you can see, maybe I'll stop there. Is there any questions? I'll stop there and I'll solicit
Kevin,
any questions you might. Yeah.
Kevin, this is Herb Marshall. You
Hey, Herb.
mentioned a minute ago that you might be running out of milk. Does that mean you may accept additional dairies into your supply chain?
So we have actually been working hand in hand with many of our neighboring co-ops. We work very well with Agrimark. We work well with Upstate Niagara. We do buy a little bit of milk from DFA. And that's all through Cuyahoga Milk Ingredients. As you know, Herb, we have a secondary business called Cuyahoga Marketing, which is our co-op. And, you know, we have a list of people to enter membership, but today, just to give you an idea, we are producing over 4 million pounds of milk per day in our own co-op. So we don't even consume our own milk supply at Cuyahoga Milk Ingredients yet. Our hope is that someday we will, and we'll have to add membership, but today it's not quite there.
Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah, and certainly, good point bringing up Cuyahoga Marketing. We also are in the process of buying more milk tankers. So right now, last year, we bought 50 new quad axle milk tankers because we're having a hard time finding milk truck drivers. And we decided to size up our milk tankers so that we required fewer drivers because we just can't find them. And we bought 50 quad axles that haul 9,600 gallon. And we also retained ownership of the 30 milk trailers that we have. So we're going to have 70 milk tankers very soon. And we're running out of space. And we're going to need, I'm hopeful that we could buy the lot north of Grover, have possession of that for a truck depot. So we can wash them, house them, have facilities for drivers, conference room for drivers, that type of thing. But I guess where I was going with this whole master plan is we have plans for the entire park. And we'd like to talk to the board about taking control of the entire park. And I want to solicit feedback and thoughts. Initially, we could get by with just a couple parcels. But if somebody steps in and takes the other parcels, that puts a kibosh on our plans. And
Well, our goal is to have the park used. As we stated before, we don't want to sell it to you and just have the property sit there vacant for years.
yeah, I think we have a proven track record now, Ray, right? So we're not we're not going to say one thing and do another. I think we have a track record of outperforming our job creation efforts
Oh,
so
yes.
far.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I understand that. I'm just,
And I agree with you. And I would think there would be if we came to an agreement, there'd be something in the agreement that said if we haven't done an expansion in X amount of years, then we have an obligation to sell that land back to the IDA.
okay.
Kevin and Ray, I think a little bit differently on this. I think making a deal with this milk plant would enable us to have some funds to buy some additional property. And we've been very negligent in not doing that up till this time. So I can see if his expansion is going to happen, where we ought to get our heads together and see where we can find some additional land for future expansion of other business.
I agree with you.
Yeah, I agree.
Today, I just want to get before you. This is a pretty big step for us. We have a formal private placement memorandum out to see if we can raise the capital within our farmer group. And that is due back by the end of January. But I want to get before you folks to get you thinking about it, because it's going to be one of our concerns, and it's a risk factor for future growth if we can't secure a place to grow. So I haven't thought anything about the structure of the deal. I just want to check to see what people thought about the idea.
How many acres we got there, Danny?
Off the top of my head, I would have to pull up the info sheet. Hold on one second.
While she's doing that, Kevin, as far as I'm concerned, I think we want to have land available to you. And I think we need to get ourselves in order and find some additional land for future expansion. And I think we need to work this whole thing together so that it works.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for those comments, everybody. I'm hopeful that we can, at least have control over it. So we know we don't have to worry about it.
So estimated it's about 70 acres.
Thank you.
The other thing I want to be upfront with everybody about is that we're talking about this force main to go to the city of Auburn. If this plan that we have on paper right now comes to fruition, there will be a cutoff point where we will want to go direct discharge to likely Crane Brook stream. We won't want to go to Auburn any longer. And we've already worked with Probst Group to look at the capital costs to do so, and the likelihood of being able to do so looks highly likely.
Does that mean your own disposal play in there at your property?
Well, where we would want to discharge it to Crane Brook is over by the old Finger Lakes bottling plant, and TRW. So that's the discharge point we want to get to. KB, where was the other I think that's the easiest one to get to. Where's the other discharge point that they were looking at?
Yeah, it was more across town, Kevin. I can't think of the name of the,
Wasn't it,
that other stream there.
wasn't it up by the mall, past the mall?
Yes.
Yeah,
On
I
the
think
north
there's too
side.
many, I think there's too many properties to cross to make that a legitimate discharge point.
You can't reach it through the old GE plant property?
No,
No.
no. I doubt it.
So, this is John, just so I'm understanding, are you saying that there will come a time shortly where you will not need the force main?
No, we'll need the force main, but we won't want to be discharging to the city of Auburn anymore.
Okay,
There be, what we will have to maintain though, just for risk management is a bypass. So we could go to the city of Auburn, but our intent would be not to long-term.
Yeah, it probably gets pretty expensive.
Very expensive, and the math works fantastic at large volumes, Ray.
Yeah.
You know economies of scale being a dairy farmer.
Oh, yeah. Yep. You got 100 cows, you need a 100 cow barn and you need it full. Yeah, I don't know if you could go, you'd have crossed railroad tracks if you went the other way by Canoga
Right.
Road. And you can't work with the railroad ever. Okay, what do you want? What do you want us to do?
No, I don't. I want you to consider it. So
Sure.
when I come back in a month, I'm either going to have a project or we're going to have a dead on arrival, and I'll let you know. But
I have a feeling you'll be moving forward.
we have a lot of support from the farmers, but these projects are so big. We can't always depend on the farms to be able to back us. So
Yeah.
And the inflation, I know our new administration would like us to believe that this is transitory. I don't believe
No,
this
it
is
is not.
transitory.
It is not. And the availability of goods is scary.
Yeah, you're right, Ray. I ordered these milk tankers in March of 2021. I ordered 50. And guess how many I have on site?
Probably 10.
24. 24.
Really?
I got 20,
No
I got
kidding.
24. Yeah.
Wow.
But the other ones are moved out to, they're supposed to be here by the end of the year. They're moved out to June now. It's unreal.
We bought soil and water. We ordered 2 pickups off state bid a year ago, February, and we just got them. We just had a radiator cooler go on a brand new tractor, and they don't know when they're going to get that part. So it's you just don't pick up the phone and they deliver stuff anymore.
No.
And everything you talk about, even that we talked to the guy who does our spraying, she's like, just can't do it for what I did it for last year. It's just every piece has just gone off haywire. And no,
Yeah,
I don't see it coming back.
I don't either.
Yeah.
So we're gonna try to move it forward before it gets worse.
Yeah. And
Kevin?
the availability of labor is scary.
Yes, it is.
Kevin, this is Herb Marshall again. I'm also on the Water and Sewer Board, and we would be very, very interested if you could keep us up to date on your sewer project there, what you feel comfortable talking with us about. I'm extremely interested in what you're trying to do.
Absolutely, Herb. This is more of a long range, but I always want to be transparent with people. It's not a short-term plan. This is, KB, what would your gut tell you? This probably be probably 5 to 10 years off into the future, most likely.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. But I never want to lie to anybody. I want to be very transparent with everybody that we're going to at some point hit a crossover point where we're gonna want a direct discharge because it's gonna be too costly to go to the city of Auburn. And eventually they're gonna want to upgrade their facility, and I know they're gonna ask for CMI to pay for the majority of it.
City's pretty famous for that.
And
Okay.
we're already more than halfway there, Ray. So
Yeah.
the water
Yeah.
we eject is clean. It's
Yeah. No, I thought from the very get-go that would happen with you at some point. You know,
But,
you're not just running a couple bathrooms down there.
but we will need your help to get it to a discharge point at Cranebrook, most likely.
Yeah. And I think Herb, this water and sewer is really a good place to begin that journey.
Is there any questions of us? I mean, I wanted to keep it top level today. Just let you know we haven't died. We lost a partner because they don't want to be in New York, but we're still here.
What's the matter? You don't like this nice weather and the politics?
And the government regulation and
Oh, yeah.
multiple, I think they probably got a better deal somewhere else. You know, it's easier to do a project elsewhere.
And my favorite saying is deals come and go every day. Yeah, I'm sure that we will discuss it and hopefully we'll come to we've always come to a good understanding with you. We want to be a good partner with you. We've tried hard. You've tried hard.
We need people. If you could help us get people, that'd be helpful too.
Yeah, good luck on finding truck drivers. Wow.
I think they retired out, right? I think we're gonna have a huge problem nationwide.
That one truck company, I read an ad, 15,000 sign-on bonus.
Wow.
Yeah, it's typical.
Yeah.
Nationally, I'm hearing that we're 80 to 100,000 truck drivers short.
Yeah. And anybody that's been taking the test, they almost fail it almost every time, particularly with the pre-trip. They made getting that license. I don't care what the governor says. Getting that CDL license is a horrible experience now. Okay, is there any other questions for Kevin and Kevin?
Thank you very much for the update.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Feel free to reach out if you got any other questions. Otherwise, put me on the agenda, put Kevin and I on the agenda for next month.
Yes, and
hopefully Omicron will be gone and we can meet in person. I don't like these Zoom calls.
Well, I hate them. I hate them. But we had some illness in the CCIDA office today, and they're short-staffed. A couple of our primary ones are working from home because they've been sick. So you know how it goes. I bet you've had your issues.
We understand. I think we got 8 or 10 out right now.
Yeah. Everybody I've talked to, they're down. One place is down half the help with it. So thank you for coming. And next month we hope to see you in person, and maybe I'll reach out and see if Kelly wants to come too, or you can. Kelly will have usually.
Yeah, we'll bring Kelly into the mix.
Yeah. I haven't heard from him lately, so I thought things were going okay. Usually he steps over and shoots the bull with me. But thank you for stopping.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. All right, we'll sign off. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Yep. Okay. Unfinished business. Update on the sewer line.
So in December, David Botar received initial feedback on the EDA application from Ed Hummel. Ed Hummel is kind of the first step in the review process at EDA. Ed kind of gave feedback that the engineer report from the probes group needed to be updated, and that we also needed to get updated beneficiary forms from CMI and Grover, as well as support letters. Ed's been out on vacation for the last 4 weeks. He just returned to the office on January 14th, and I know David is in the process of trying to set up another meeting with him to connect with him. Mark is on the line too, so Mark can kind of give an update. He's been kind of running point on getting the updated engineers report from the probes group. Dave also kind of gave an update in terms of the EDA process. They are accepting applications and they are prioritizing what he referred to as good projects. Ed Helm feels that this is a great project. He's been involved since the beginning, especially Dave mentioned that when he came in for the review. But Ed Helm told him that he's unsure as to when EDA would select the projects for funding. Dave is still hopeful that we should receive results as to whether the project will be funded or not sometime in March of 2022. Also, the CCIDA SAM.gov account has been reactivated and I am official and authorized user on the account. So if awarded, the funding would go in and we should not have any issues with accessing the grant funds. Mark, did you have anything to add?
No, I just wanted to, well, just add the that the preliminary engineering report was modified. So David has that. I'm sure that's going to go under review and some scrutiny as well too, but at least it's moving forward, getting it closer.
That's the only thing that's needed that should have any problem with, right? Is that engineering report? The things from the current plants, we shouldn't have any problem getting them.
No, I don't think you will. You're right.
I
Sure.
already got both of the beneficiary forms, both from Grover and CMI. Dave has those, so those have been updated, no issue.
Any other updates? Any questions? Mark, have you been able to reach out to Doug at Soil and Water about that pipe?
Is the pipe, which pipe?
That one I talked about last month?
Oh, yeah. No, I have not yet, actually. I have not.
Okay. Then maybe you get a chance, you might.
Yeah.
Thank
I
you.
will. Yep, you got it.
Any other questions on the sewer update? Okay, 12 Corners Road Extension.
So last month, their rep Olivia had reached out in regards to the solar project in the Moravia area, and they are also requesting an extension on the project's leaseback. I've been working with Rick and Justin to be able to execute this. They have been sending a lot of emails back and forth today to kind of finalize that paperwork. But essentially, their lease back agreement was set to expire on December 31st of 2021. I had asked Rick and Justin if this was something that needed to go in front of the board for a vote, and they had told me that this is something as the interim executive director, I could exercise the extension given a reasonable explanation. The project, they explained that they have made some internal progress, but they have seen really long delays in their shipments of the major building components. So they have asked for an extension of the leaseback agreement through December 31st of December, or of October, I'm sorry, December 31st of 2022. So I just wanted to give the board an update on that. I don't know, Rick, is there anything I'm missing on that?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Thank you. Any questions on that? Staff update.
Ray, I'll let you give the update in regards to the CEO position, but I can give some other updates. The business development specialist, I have started to conduct interviews and we have 3 qualified candidates. Next week, I will be setting up the final group interviews and I am hoping to make a decision by the end of next week and have this person start in early February. Meg's last day with the organization will be February 9th. So we're hoping to get this person on the job before then so they can get at least a few days of training with Meg before she officially transitions out. Recently, I have received 2 inquiries for some projects that are happening in the county. They're looking to start applying for the IDA application. So hopefully within the next month or so, we'll have some completed applications. One of the projects is a $2 million project that will be happening in the town of Mentz. They have an anticipated construction start date in spring. So I've encouraged them to get that application in as soon as possible so it can go for review. And then the other project is a possible solar project in Aurelius. I have been in communications with Jerry Scouten on that one. I think I had mentioned that also in the December board. So hopefully they'll get their application as well. In December, Devin from our organization joined Karen Kuhl from the Office of Tourism, CBS, CBS Saturday morning came to Cuyahoga County to do an episode in regards to the dairy industry. I know Kevin Ellis mentioned it briefly. He was part of the CBS episode. They interviewed individuals from CMI as well as Spruce Haven. The episode aired this last Saturday, and essentially the focus of the story was around generational dairy farms and how they're transitioning or kind of changing their response as there's been a rise in plant-based milks. So how have these generational farmers kind of created innovative products around that? I will send out the link if anyone is interested in watching the CBS episode. I thought they did a really good job in capturing the dairy farms in Cuyahoga County. Lastly, I went in front of the City Council last month, and our proposal to administer ARPA funds around small business assistance has been approved. CCIDA will be receiving $500,000 that we'll be pushing out into grants around $20,000 to $40,000, and we're hoping to fund up to 11 businesses in regards to COVID relief projects. We're going to be starting our info sessions at the end of this month, and we are looking to do an application and selection process over the next 2 months with submitting awards out at the end of March, early April.
Are all of those projects in the city?
So as of right now, the county has not released their plans for ARPA funding. I'm not sure if they're going to allocate any funding for small business. I had a brief conversation with Aileen when she was still chair. She wanted to know what the city's plan was. She seemed excited by it. Like I said, now with things changed, I'm not sure if the county has any intention, but if they want to contract CCIDA, we would love to administer something similar for businesses that are across the county. But unfortunately, at this time, Herb, this contract is only for businesses within the city limits.
Any more questions on that? You want to give an update with the board member from Dave Gould?
Dave Gould, oh, yes. So I had reached out to Dave Gould this morning in terms of appointing for the county seat for CCIDA. He had mentioned things are a little hectic over there right now. One county clerk has been out on surgery for a few months. The other one is kind of swamped with the workload. He had mentioned he had not received the committee list as of yet and was not sure where appointments needed to go, but that he would be in touch with me in the upcoming month to give me an update.
Okay. The search for the executive director, we had a executive meeting and a CSS meeting this morning. We are receiving applications. We will be setting up interviews hopefully right after January 25, which is the cutoff date to receive interviews. I'm not exactly certain as of this exact minute how many has come in, but I know we've had some come in. I won't say a lot, but there has been some interest in the position, and hopefully we can do the interview process hopefully quite soon, so at this point, we've set the salary. And I think a press release went out announcing the position, and we're receiving applications. So hopefully we'll have an answer early in February, which is longer than I had anticipated. Any other updates? Do you want to go into executive session to talk about land acquisition or any of that? Anybody?
There's nothing that anybody has been working on so far, right, Ray?
Well, right, but I mean about the CMI
Oh,
proposal.
I'm sorry. I think we might just as well put that off till next month, and we should, if we should at least think about what our goals are by then.
Okay. I think then for a brief discussion, we've looked, I don't know where we can begin to look for, the weight farm has been taken off the market, as I understand. And I think our best plan, if we're gonna stay in the area, would be to reach out. Have you had any opportunity to reach out to Mrs. Crowley?
Ray? If,
Hello?
this is John. If we're gonna talk about the acquisition, then I move to go into executive.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
We're in.
So should I stop recording? at
Danielle,
this
stop
point?
recording.
Yes.
Yes.
Hold on 1 second.
Okay. Any further business?
If
Now is there a
not,
motion to adjourn?
I would move we adjourn.
I'll second with Herb.
All in favors?
Aye.
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 Thank you.